when devotees cry out loud. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity to discuss on the Krishna Leela and Krishna pastimes. I'll start with sharing my screen. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadate Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Rabadhana Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। I'm trying to speak something. I'm not qualified to speak on this verse, but I'm taking blessings from Guru and devotees so that I can speak something meaningful on this verse. 3.4.35 आत्मानां च गुरु श्रेष्ठा कृष्णेन मनुसेक्षितं ध्यायान्गते भगवते रूढा प्रेम विप्लवा। Synonyms: Atmanam, himself, cha, also, Kurukshetra. O best amongst the Kurus, Krishnena, by Krishna, Manasa, by the mind, Ikshitam, remembered, Dhyayan, thus thinking of, gate, having gone, Bhagavate, of the devotee, Rurudha, cried loudly, Prema Viflava, overwhelmed by the ecstasy of love. Translation: understanding that he was remembered by the Lord Krishna while quitting the world, Vidura began to cry loudly, overwhelmed by the ecstasy of the love. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vidura was overwhelmed by the ecstasy of love when he understood that Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thought of him at the last moment. Although he thought himself as insignificant, he was remembered by the Lord by his causeless mercy. Vidura accepted this as a great favor, and thus he cried. This crying is the last word in the path, in the progressive path of devotional service. One who can cry for the Lord in love is certainly successful in the line of devotional service. 3.4.36 Kalindiya Katibihi Siddha Aho Bir Bharatarshabha Prapadyata Swaha Sharitam Yatra Mitra Sato Munihi. Synonyms: Kalindiyaha, on the banks of the Yamuna, Katibihi, a few, Siddhe, being so past, Ahobihi, days, Bharatarshabha, O best of the Bharata dynasty, Prapadyata, reached, Swasharitam, the celestial water of the Ganges, Yatra, where, Mitra Sutaha, the son of Mitra, Munihi, sage. Translation: after passing a few days on the banks of the river Yamuna, Vidura, the self-realized soul, reached the banks of the Ganges, where the great sage Maitreya was situated. Purport: thus the end of the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 3rd canto, 4th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Vidura approaches Maitreya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We'll go through this translation one more time. Vidura was overwhelmed by the ecstasy of love when he understood that Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God, had thought of him at the last moment. Although he thought of him as insignificant, he was remembered by the Lord by his causeless mercy. Vidura accepted this as a favor, and thus he cried. This crying is the last word in the progressive path of devotional service. One who can cry for the Lord in love is certainly successful in the line of devotional service. Talking about this, I'm not at all qualified about this bhava or what Vidura is going through, why he's crying. It took a lot of time for me to think through, and because it is not like a philosophy thing, but it is a bhava that Vidura he's having with him. So it was very hard for me. So I went through all lectures, and what am I speaking? I'm through some realizations through lectures about the bhava prakatana. So what all I gathered some information about this verse. Actually, Vidura, he is not crying in distress, but he's crying in happiness. So the crying, we can say, it is the symptom of pure love of Krishna. The tears he's getting through, those are fully filled with the love for Krishna. So, and going through so many lectures and Srila Prabhupada quotes, I could gather some of the information, and what are all my realizations I'm telling today. So this tears are of two types, like material and spiritual. And the material tears are the people cry for material desires at different stages of life. When they are young, they cry out for toys. When they are in the middle age, they cry out for job, women to get married, and then the later on ages, they cry out for different diseases, and the body is not helping out. Those material tears, but they are just for the bodily. They are not for the soul. So we can even check these things. Yeah. Dhyayato Vishyan Pumsa Sangasteshu Pajayate Sangat Sangayate Kamaha Kamat Krodha Vijayate. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises. So this is how we get attached to the lust, and how the anger arises, and what happens next. Krodha bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhramaha, smriti vibhramshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down in the material pool. So these are the some of the causes for the material tears. And ragadveshe vimuktaischa vishayan indriyascharan atma vashver vidhyayatma prasadham abhidi adhigacchati. So, but a person free from all attachments and aversion and be able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. So even Krishna gave us how we can get out of those material tears. So he did give complete, we should obtain the complete mercy by following, controlling the senses and following the regulative principles of freedom. So he also gave us how we can get through the spiritual tears. So the next one is spiritual tears. So the spiritual tears is all about the ecstasy. It is the bhava stage or prema stage one is going through. So These are the tears to get the love of Krishna and to feel the love of Krishna or to feel the mercy of Krishna. These tears are good and they are longing for Krishna. So, and this we can say it is the happy moment, so-called happy moment. We cry out loud for Krishna. And we even raise our arms and cry out loud for in that blissful moment. And I will discuss some examples of the devotees who experienced this spiritual bliss. So Vidura felt happy when he got to know that the Lord remembered him. That is the spiritual ecstasy. He cried out loud. And Draupadi, she cried out and like for the mercy of Krishna. And she got the mercy from Krishna, and it all led to happiness. And Dhruva Maharaj, he cried out loud in the forest to get mercy of the Krishna, and he got the boons. He said this dialogue saying that I came into the forest just looking for broken pieces of glass, but instead I have found a great jewel in you, my dear Lord, and now I'm completely satisfied and don't have anything. So he forgot about what he wanted to actually ask because he's completely satisfied and he cried out loud, so he got the mercy. When we talk about Gajendra also cried out loud and he got rid of birth and death cycle, and it is the happiest moment in his life. So now coming to the like in Kali Yuga, in the present age, I could hear the devotees, lot of devotees, like I will I bring out a few stories. I can't explain everything in 15 minutes, so I'll give the gist of the some personalities who cried out loud for Krishna. So Narsim Mehta, he's a 15th century poet from Gujarat. He sings really good, and he got this boon from Lord Shiva. So there are so many pastimes of Narsim Mehta, 15th century poet. Why I took him? Because I don't know, I got so much attached to Kedar Rag. I don't know, I fully, I did, without knowing only, the Kanhare, that song, I did teach in the Anand Mela in 2008 for a group of dancers, and they performed on the stage. I never know why I picked that song, but I realized yesterday that is the song Narsim Mehta cried out loud for Krishna with that raga, Kedar raga. Then I was like, I was in tears now. Oh, okay, Krishna, I thought just pick and choose, but he gave me a right thing to teach the kids. So I got overwhelmed and I went through what is Kedar raga and who did this and who composed. So Narsim Mehta, he was completely devoted to Krishna. He never, he's very poor and he did not think how to earn money. He's always into bhajans. Wherever he go, he is to just sing for the Lord, and he is to be like that. And at home, obviously, wife and kids will be anxious because nothing is taken care of. So one time, Narsim Mehta, he has a elder brother also. They both are there. So one time, the Shraddha Sharmani of his father came, and brother, he's like, I'm not telling the complete story. It takes a lot of time, so I'm just giving just pieces of the story. So the old brother, he gets frustrated with the younger brother's behavior. So he says that you take care of yourself. Then Narsim Mehta wife said, okay, we'll take care of Shraddha Sharma. You do yourself and we do ourselves, like two different places. Actually, Shraddha Sharma is only done in one place in elder's home. So now the anxiety starts for the wife because Shraddha Sharma is not a small thing. We have to get so many things, brahmanas, we have to cook for them, we have to give so many gifts, give gifts to them. So So she feeling anxious, and she says that, okay, I have 2 bangles, so I'm giving you so that you can go to the market and bring whatever necessary for the cooking and giving to the brahmana, so you can bring it. So Narsimha Mehta, he took those 2 bangles and he went to the market, and he brings everything and he gives to his wife, and he forgets one thing. He is the one thing we cook, so he forgets that. So he says that I forgot ghee, so I'll go, but I don't have money, but I'll check it out if somebody gives for free. So Narsimha Mehta, he goes to the market again, and since there is no money with him, so all the people in the market, they are not ready to give him that ghee. So he goes to the end of that market, and there is one devotee of Krishna. So he says that, okay, you can take it, but please promise me that no need to give the ghee, but please promise me that you sing one bhajan for me about Krishna. So Narsimha Mehta, as usual, because he will be immersed in bhajans, so he started singing and singing, and 12 o'clock is the time he has to go back. No, 11, I think. He has to go back and give ingredients to his wife to cook. But the time passed away. So Narsimha Mehta, he's like in blissful nature, like singing about the glories of the Lord. And his wife, she is so anxious, and she goes, they have some Balagopala. She goes to the Balagopala and says, okay, you're in charge. I don't know where he is. So please take care of this Shraddha ceremony. So she cries out loud. And so that's the time Krishna listens to the wife's Arthanadam, what we can say. So he asks Vidura and Akrura to pack up and take everything down to earth, like all the bullock carts with loads of cooking and everything. So after coming down, Lord Krishna will be dressed up as Narsimha Mehta, and he comes to the home, and his wife said, what were you doing? Where are you? It's been time. It's 12 o'clock. Okay, I got everything. So be patient, and everything will be done. There's so much story regarding. I'm just giving just in pieces, but that when we hear that story, it empowers us, and we can see like how Lord reciprocates with his devotees. So he's done everything, and he even Narsimha Mehta in disguise of Lord Krishna in disguise of Narsimha Mehta, he gives out golden plates and spoons, like in whatever they eat. He says that you can give it away. He even gives saris as a gift to the whoever comes to the Shraddha ceremony. So everybody's like, they were just like, wow, where did he get this much money from? Like everything, it's like Krishna's mercy. So after everything is done, Narsimha Mehta, he comes out of that blissful moment, and he says, oh, what's the time? It's already 1 o'clock. I have to go home. My wife will be waiting for me. So please give me that ghee. And so he takes the ghee in that pot and he goes. And by the time he goes, everything is done. And he thought his wife will be mad at him, but she's like very happy, saying that when he said, this is the ghee, you can start cooking. And what ghee? Everything is done, everybody is gone. And like, then he started feeling sad, like, okay, Lord Krishna came and he did everything, and he left without eating. So he cries out loud, and he cries out loud with this Kedar rag. It's a beautiful song. If I have some time, I'll play it for you. But this is the song I got like so much inspired with this Kedar rag. So how, like, obviously, yeah, Krishna might have been completely merciful, that devotee. So this is one story, and there is one Manjula Gurayur. She pleased Lord with just making garlands. Every day she used to make garlands and bring it to the temple for Lord Krishna. One day what happened, by the time she came, the doors were closed and she was sitting there and crying out loud, not loud, but she could not do her service. So, but in Putanam, there is so many stories, but Putanam is the one. Putanam, like he has a different story, but in the story he says that to Manjula, like put it under the lotus feet. There is a tree, you can put that. It will be taken care of, like Lord Krishna will take. If you put underneath the tree, the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna is there, so you can put around that. So she'll put there, and by the time in the morning, the pujari can see the same garland on Lord Krishna, Murti. And what happening? They were taking all the garlands, but this garland, they could not take it off. It's like going back and back. They could not even take it off. So when Manjula comes, the garland will be flying to Manjula on her hand. So that is the reciprocation Lord Krishna is giving to the devotees, the simple service and wholehearted service. And then the bhajans from Narsimata and Putana, the recitation of 10th chapter and 10th canto and 60th chapter, like Rukmini and Krishna, the conversations going on. And the Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva, he's like keep on bringing back to the same canto and 60th chapter. He like because he did not want him to go further because the conversation is so good and Putanam recites that story so good. They don't want to miss it. So this is the Lord Shiva and Parvati, they will be hearing that pastime. So they wanted to hear and hear. They don't want to go beyond that chapter. So that's why they always like at the end of the day they'll bring that page back and they'll put it there, canto 10 and 60 chapter. So these are the few examples. Just for the simple services, we can see when they cry out loud, Krishna reciprocates, and we can say from this that he is more of Bhavagrahi Janardana. And Srila Prabhupada in so many lectures, I can point out to the few lectures, like Los Angeles, June 5th, 1976. He said that religion is love, and how to love God, that is the religion. So he even says, Sunyaitam Jagat Sarvam. So everything is vacant without Krishna. And he also points out to Honolulu lecture where he says that the highest status is Govinda Virahename. So for want of Krishna, I'm thinking one moment as 12 years. So he even points out that love means I enjoy or not enjoy, I love you. So that is the love. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, we can see the Vipralamba love. So Prabhupada explained detailedly, but I'm just giving just in pieces. I was overwhelmed seeing all these like lectures, but I'm just giving one or two sentences out. So even Prabhupada explained, Hey Radhe Vrajadevike Chalalite. Where is Radharani? Where are you? Where are your friends? Lalita and Vishaka. Where is Nanda and son of Maharaj Mandai? Krishna. So they are all crying. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Radharani? So Srila Prabhupada in that lecture, he explained that they're crying out loud for Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada gave one more lecture about like what is the beginning of the the bhakti. The beginning of bhakti is sadhana bhakti. And then we get attached to Krishna, and then it leads to Raga Bhakti. And the more you increase your attachment for Krishna, then it will become to the Bhava, the stage of Prema Bhakti. So you don't just come to Prema Bhakti all of a sudden, but we need to have Krishna Prema. Let us cry So that's what he explained in that lecture. So it is a progressive path. So I will end my discourse. If there is any discussion or anything, please let me know, and the points for improvement.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Mataji, wonderful class. The 2 stories that you gave us is also so wonderful. I am going to go back and listen to this entire class again. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yeah, those 2 pastimes really touched me. And if we have some time, I'll play that song, that Kedar Rang, Kedar Raga. Just
you should probably do that.
So
start a new career in real estate from the comfort of your home and change your life for the better. Visit this.
Kedar बंद मन पसंद छंद बंद बंद कहूँ बारी बारी हरि। हे मुकुंद बंद मन पसंद छंद बंद बंद कहूँ बारी बारी हरि। न्यारी न्यारी गद तारी सारी हूँ तो हारी हारी बलिहारी हारी हरि। नंद किशोर शिर मुकुट मोर बड़ी बंसीधारी बिहारी हारी हरि। नंद किशोर शिर मुकुट मोर बड़ी बंसीधारी बिहारी हारी हरि। बंसीधारी हरि ब्रज बिहारी हरि। बंसीधारी हरि ब्रज बिहारी हरि। नंद किशोर शिर मुकुट मोर बड़ी बंसीधारी बिहारी हारी हरि। करूं पुकार हरि बार बार हवे करूं पुकार हरि बार बार। गाई राग केदार गाई राग केदार गाई राग केदार 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 गाऊं हूँ राग केदार केदार केदार।
How is it, Prabhuji? Krishna responds to this raga.
Wonderful, wonderful, Mataji.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel so. When I started preparing for this discussion, I really felt that I'm something like Krishna always guides us and puts us in a proper path. We will not be deviated from, whatever it is. So, thank you so much, Prabhuji. So, if there are no discussions.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare
Krishna.
Thank you very much for the nice nice pastime and glorification of devotees. It's really beautiful. Mataji, one question. Did Narsimha Mehta, he composed the Kedarnath Rag himself, or he composed a bhajan in Kedarnath?
Kedar Rag, they said. So he composed that Ragam.
The Ragam itself. So he okay. Mataji, which century is he in?
15th century, Prabhuji.
15th century. Okay. Yes, Mataji. Thank you for sharing such a nice pastime.
Yes, Prabhuji. I was like in different mood. Past 3 days I'm preparing. So, it's
Very
really
beautiful.
Good. Thank you, Prabhuji. So if there are no discussion, then Vancha kalpatarabhyascha krupasindebhyascha pattanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity, and Hare Krishna.